Like, I can't wait for next white man, right? I'm have 1 billion rubles in my stash, and people go, yo, have you got 1 billion rubles, man? How? This is impossible. And then no one in chat can fucking complain about viewer kits then, right? Nobody. Yeah, I forgot. Tarkov community thinks rubles equals skill too, man. Literally. After all these years. Oh, you got 2 mil? You're terrible, dude.
Okay, quick little daily roundup before we get into the main point of the video. I got a reply from HoneyXO on the HoneyXO video. I actually did a video defending her, saying that I don't think she's currently cheating, after I had a ton of people reporting her in my Discord and saying she was cheating. And I took a look at a couple of streams and I said it was my opinion that I don't think she's cheating now, and posted the video. Sure enough, within a couple of hours, I start getting sent Call of Duty clips, and it was like it's almost like a bad boy Beeman video for a second there. Yeah, that's soft aim. That is soft aim. Anyway, so yeah, I guess she gets a lot of heat for cheating in Call of Duty. Her response pretty much reads, I never got banned in Call of Duty. Also, made another Twitch account. Also, never made another Twitch account. I just changed my Twitch name to something shorter and easier to search. Well, I mean, the entire video was about her using soft aim in Call of Duty. I'm not sure. I never stated once throughout the entire video that she was banned in Call of Duty, so I'm unsure what that statement means, because she's not answering to anything I said. I just said she was using soft aim in Call of Duty, to which she replied, well, I wasn't banned. uh, I mean, no one said she was banned. Newsflash, honey, not all cheaters get banned. um, it's like it's kind of like someone saying, "Hey, you stole my car." Well, I didn't get arrested for it. Yeah, it's kind of like basically just admitting it, but not. But I'm not. I'm confused with that reply. I don't know whether that's just like a subtle admission, or because I never said once during that video that she was banned in Call of Duty. Yeah, confusing reply. But anyway, so it seems she's already got a very angry Call of Duty community with their pitchforks out. There's entire subreddits and threads about her cheating over there. So your past follows you. It's something, it's not something you can just shake and head on off to a new game and it'll never come up. I'm guessing no one's ever really spoken on it before publicly. It's always probably just been like if you ask in a Twitch chat, you just get an insta ban and that's pretty much it. And that's how I guess she just deals with it. But yeah. But at least we know she wasn't banned, even though we never asked. Moving on. So I actually had a conversation with a guy on my live stream, probably like a good 20-minute conversation, and I hear this recurring opinion constantly since I started this channel about all this opinion that gets around that people have, and it seems to come from the same place. It's someone's made some post on Reddit and bring up a 10-year-old clip of Nakita, and someone's also commented it. The reason people say BSG likes cheaters is because of how they ban them. They don't do IP bans. Right after a ban wave happens, they put the game on sale. They profit off cheaters. Nakita has literally stated this in the past via a games conference. I actually have this clip and I'm going to show it to you guys. I'm going to show it to you guys. You guys can give me your opinion. Once it plays, I'm going to give you my opinion and give my points of why I think this is not reality and this is not what's really going on.
Играть одинаково. И вот эти вот рамки волхаки выглядят как фишка. Типа, у меня зрение терминатора, и у тебя, а у меня тоже, а у тебя, и у меня тоже. Только у меня красненькие, у меня синенькие, а у тебя крестики. Вот. Кстати, по поводу читера я бы тоже кое-что сказал, но это уже будет, конечно... А там уже записывает или нет? Тогда не буду говорить. Ну, читеры это то, что, вот, да, это такая серьезная вещь, которая работает всегда в две стороны, так и быть, я скажу это. Для меня это было, честно говоря, откровением, как бы, и как это воспринимать, это, конечно, уже ваше дело. Если читеров много, это начинает поднимать донат. Потому что читеры вводят в состояние дискомфорта других игроков. А главное правило, чтобы донатили товарищи, нужно держать игрока в состоянии дискомфорта. То есть он понимает, ах ты тварь, покупает все, что можно, думает, что нагнет его. А нет. То есть это тупиковая вещь, на которая поднимает донат. Мы накатываем обновление системы античита регулярно, там все сложнее, сложнее, сложнее. И у нас вот в это время видно, что проседает донат. Мы вот в Одноклассниках перебанили топов, вообще просто людей, у которых 4500 часов онлайна. 4500 часов. Калькулятор есть, я посчитаю. Ну, очень много. И они там, один задонатил около 100 тысяч рублей в игру. И он играл с счетами. Мы его забанили. И забанили очень много его подельников. И вообще много людей, которые донатили. И что? У нас донат просел. И вот кто будет потом нас называть плохими после этого? Мы забанили наших потенциальных как бы донатеров, и из-за этого не получаем деньги. Ну, вот такая вот двойственная тема абсолютно. Но это не значит, что нужно читеров держать в игре. Нужно, конечно, с ними бороться. Потому что от них очень плохой эффект для новичков, когда начинают играть только. Они портят игру, и тем самым ретеншн вообще становится нулевой практически. Вот. А вообще читеры, мы с ними боремся, мы с ними судимся. Вот, и у нас есть бригада, она ездит и учит их всячески. Юридический отдел. Я им всем пугаю, юридический отдел. А на самом деле он есть, юридический отдел. Там 4 человека, юридический отдел. Все, там, нужно найти кого-то, ник только есть. Найдут. Найдут и позвонят и скажут, ну мы нашли, вот что делать дальше. И сразу вспоминаются вот эти бандитские фильмы, там, бандитский Петербург, и думаешь, ядрить, круто, вообще работает. А еще вопросики какие-нибудь есть?
Как повлиял отвал Unity на вас вообще? Упали ли платежки?
Имеется в виду то, что Chrome закрыл NP API?
Да.
Упало, да, упало. Facebook упал больше всего, я, в принципе, это не скрываю, 30% у нас просело все.
И тогда что в сентябре будете делать?
Что делать, кстати, в этом случае?
В сентябре, да.
В сентябре?
Когда полностью-
Мы вообще-то в клиент метим всеми проектами, поэтому мы не хотим задерживаться в вебе. А вообще, по предварительным опросам, у нас уже в Chrome играют всего лишь 9%, раньше было 50%. И что с ними делать? Да ничего, пожалуйста, 9% отвалится, и пусть отваливаются дальше. Да, естественно. Мы вели переговоры с Яндексом. Яндекс, я так думаю, благодаря нам, они написали свою собственную поддержку NP-API, Яндекс браузер, но работать будет.
Okay, so first things first, I'm going to address this guy's comment on my YouTube, and it's just something I hear all the time that's just not true. I have all these people that just suggest to me that BSG intentionally doesn't hardware ban, they don't do IP bans, they don't do pretty much anything because they prefer that cheaters continue buying EFT accounts and keep playing, and BSG just enjoys the profit they make from cheaters. Okay, I have an entire video on this subject, which I often direct people to when they say this kind of stuff to me, because it's not true. It is the complete opposite of the truth. They hardware ban all the time. They even have additional forms of bans that are much harsher, including IP bans, all sorts of stuff. They actually have a very harsh banning system, and although it's not up there with, you know, some of the better games, it's definitely not one of the worst. It's, for starters, when you get banned in Escape from Tarkov, it costs you more money than what it does in most other games to continue cheating. It's actually a pretty costly game to cheat in, and a lot of people just don't understand that it's not so much a Battlestate Games issue, it's a state of gaming issue with the way hardware bans work and IP bans. It's just so easy to get around these bans these days that it just doesn't do anything. Someone can get literally the harshest ban that BSG can hand out, and it's just there's free programs to change your IP, there's free programs to change your hardware ID, so it just, and it's a problem in every game right now. It's not just a BSG issue. It is a state of gaming issue. And every game's going through it right now, and the sad reality is that a ban in any video game in this day and age just doesn't do anything. If the person really wants to, they can be playing that game again within the hour. Now, a point I will make with Tarkov, it, as opposed to other games, it will actually cost you money. It actually will cost you a fair bit of money. And unless you're someone that has a constant flow of money, you're not going to be able to continue to cheat in this game, because to be a cheater in this game, you are going to get banned on average once a wipe, and you are going to have to pay to change your hardware ID. You are going to have to change your IP if you get a certain type of ban that I'm speaking on. I've got an entire video. I'll link it in the description of this video where I explain how the bans work in Tarkov. Obviously, with some stuff I can't go into too much detail because I don't want to help people that are doing the wrong thing, but it's more so just to help people understand just the battle that they are actually fighting, and that it's not an easy battle. It's a losing battle. It really is. It's not as easy as everyone says it is. You know, if BSG could just wake up one day and solve cheating, I can guarantee you they would. I can guarantee you just about any game right now would, and no game can. That's just the sad reality. Now, this conversation Nakita had, I'm going to give my opinion. I'm going to give my take, okay? And you guys are free to give your opinion and discuss it. But this is my opinion. This was a conversation he had 10 years ago in a room full of investors for a completely different game called Contract Wars. Okay, now some guy has gone and found this clip and then posted it on Reddit, and then made the assumption that, you know, you can tell in my mind he's making a lot of jokes, he's a little bit more loud and egocentric as what he is now. He's a bit younger, a bit louder. You can tell he's joking around. It's hard to sort of pick what he means by this with the language barrier. I had a guy come into the comments and say he speaks Russian and Russians are evil and he knows exactly what he means. And look, it was 10 years ago. It was a completely different game he's talking about. And on top of that, he's in a room full of investors that were throwing him curveballs, asking him about cheating and things like that. And he's basically trying to get people on board on a game that he was working on. And the reality was, if he didn't pitch that game would have never got released, you know. And if you're selling something, if I were to hand you a pen right now and say, sell me this pen, but then I said to you, hey, pens run out of ink, you know, I wouldn't really hold it against you if you made a joke and said, well, I guess they'll buy another one, right? It's, you know, or it's, I can see how people would assume that there's some kind of, like, you know, evil intent behind it. I know how hard it is to cheat in this game. I know how much of a chore it is, and I know just how much BSG combats cheating. And the way that they do it uh, they don't give cheat devs an easy time, and they do it in a way to completely shut down entire cheating communities, and the way they do it is pretty effective. Like once they get onto a cheat and they detect a cheat, they just absolutely batter them until the point where no one's going to buy it anymore because it's just a guaranteed ban. And in my mind, that tells me if they wanted those people in their game, why would they do that? Plus, on top of that, cheating's nowhere near what it used to be. Like all the features in cheating are literally gone now. You can do like 1/10 of what you could when this game first came out. You could speed around the map at 100 times the speed of everyone else. You could fly around and not even get banned for it unless, maybe you did it in front of a streamer or something. But now there's all sorts of detections, there's all sorts of traps in place, there's all sorts of stuff in place to the point where every cheater has just gone completely underground and they just spend their entire day cheating, and just their constant every thinking second is, okay, I've got to play like this, I've got to do this so I don't get banned. And then if I get banned, I've got to fork out this much money to do it all over again. It's a struggle. Like it's not like other games. Like I'll give you an example, DayZ. If you get a ban for cheating in DayZ, they never hardware ban. Accounts are almost free. And that's why the DayZ cheating problem never got resolved. But it's not like that for Tarkov. The accounts are expensive. It's very easy to get banned, 10 times easier than what it is to get banned in DayZ. And, yeah, I'll link the video. In my opinion, I think it's kind of a little bit unfair to hold someone to what they're saying during a sales pitch, because in my mind, if you're working on a project and you're standing in front of a room full of investors, people that are potentially going to invest in your game, and if they don't, your game won't even, take off. He wouldn't really be doing his job if he didn't pretty much turn everything into a positive and sell the game. Because you got to think, these people are investors. What's their main concern? Their main concern is, if we put money into your game, are we going to make money? And, I don't think you'd catch Nakita saying things like this about Tarkov. And see, the reality was, I looked this game up and they didn't really have a cheating issue. There wasn't really anything coming back for a cheating problem with this game. So, he probably could get up and make jokes like this, but now I guarantee you wouldn't see him making jokes like this now in public about Tarkov, because it's just not, because there's actually a cheating issue in Tarkov, and he's obviously has to come across a lot more serious about it. And something that annoys me as well is that people don't understand how much actually really goes on behind the scenes. Like, you actually have to be someone who's done the wrong thing to understand just how much is really going on, because BSG doesn't tell everyone. BSG, the most they'll do is post, roughly how many accounts they've banned, and that's it. They don't, they're not constantly updating the player base saying, we've detected 2 cheats last week, we detected a cheat this week, we completely removed this cheat feature from the game yesterday. They don't tell the player base all this. They just do not say a word about it. And unless you've been someone who's done the wrong thing and seen it firsthand, they do quite a lot. And they've taken a lot away from the people doing the wrong thing in this game. And when people approach me and hit me with this opinion, and what I've found is it's usually people who don't even play the game in most cases. It's usually a dude who stopped playing the game or it's some dude who has very little experience in the game, and that's just their opinion on the game because they've heard someone else say it, or they've seen it on Reddit, or they don't actually have any facts to back up what they're saying. They're either just assuming something, or they've heard something someone else said, and that's their opinion, or they give you some crazy theory. Like I had some other guy say, oh, he's Russian, so that must mean he's a scammer. And it's like, it's a bit of a wild assumption, dude. Like, to me, But yeah, if you've been around my channel for a while, I go above and beyond to try and, because, if you know my story, I was someone who once did the wrong thing, and like within myself, I feel like I took people's enjoyment out of the game when I did the wrong thing. So that's why on my channel now, I try and go out of my way to outline the positive things BSG are doing to combat cheating, to try and give people that back, to try and make people feel better about the game, because I was once someone who took that away from people. But my honest opinion is it's only getting better. I did a poll 3 days ago, and it was like 75% of people aren't even seeing a cheater, like 1 in 10 raids lately. So, and it was like 300 and something votes. And and from what I'm seeing with the videos I'm releasing lately and all the stuff I've seen going on, they're putting a lot of work in, and they don't mention it. Because if they did come out and say, "Oh guys, guess what? We took down a cheat today. We did this today." What would the Tarkov player base say or do? It's just a very brutal, judgmental player base that, it doesn't matter what BSG does. It's just not good enough. I get that sort of. They get very harshly critiqued, and I feel at times it's not very fair, because I've seen both sides, and they do a fair bit. They do a lot. It's not an easy game to do the wrong thing in, definitely, as opposed to other games. But that's my opinion. I'll also post some videos to about the ban details and stuff. Obviously, in that video, I kind of got to be careful with some stuff that I say, because I don't want it to be a video that helps people that are doing the wrong thing. But yeah, I get a lot of misinformed people that just come along and they just have these crazy assumptions that BSG only bans cheaters because they want the money. They want them to buy the account. See, in my mind, imagine how many players Tarkov has lost because of people who've left the game because of cheaters, as opposed to the 5% of the player base who are cheating. Now, in my mind, the game would be 3x what it was if there was no cheating. So it's like, to assume that they would prefer to keep 5% of the player base happy to squeeze that extra little bit of profit, instead of all those people that would have never left the game because of cheating. It's just, I don't see it. Yeah. But let me know what you think. Yeah, honestly, it really surprises me when people hit me with their take on this, because I feel like a lot of it is just people are just misinformed, or they're, listening to people that don't actually know what they're talking about, or people that are making assumptions, and just, not many people really can. The most factual thing someone has hit me with is this interview, which is 10 years old, It's about a completely different game in front of a room full of investors, and it's a sales pitch. And this is like anything other than this that someone else has brought up to me has either been completely wrong, misinformation, or an assumption. You know, and I can see how someone would sort of twist what he's saying into some evil, whatever. But yeah, in my mind, it's just not reality. It seems to only really be coming from people who don't play the game, in my mind, because you don't see a dude with 10,000 hours who loves the game saying something like that. Oh yeah, nah, BSG loves cheaters. That's why they're in the game, because they make money off them. With 10,000 hours playing the game every day. It's usually the guy who's quit the game, who probably played for 50 hours, was never good at it, never even tried to be good, went back playing, PUBG or Fortnite and just rags on the game now and just makes assumptions. In my mind, because the guys I've had the conversation with, they either have very little experience in the game or none. But yeah, that's pretty much the video. I don't want to ramble on for too long. Let me know your guys' opinion. Yeah, I might do a more in-depth video on it and go into it a little bit more with some more facts and stuff. But I'll link the videos in the description to a couple of videos on my channel that have a lot of good information in them as well. Yeah, thank you for watching.